In one of the most important elections of our lifetime, Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore has been targeted by both Democrats and the mainstream media for unverified allegations from nearly 40 years ago. But Moore is fighting back against the establishment, holding a steady lead over liberal Democrat Doug Jones in recent polls. One America's Emerald Robinson had a chance to sit down with Moore as the special election looms.
Well, the Alabama Senate race is drawing into the home stretch in an exciting race, and we're here with Republican Senate candidate Judge Roy Moore to talk about the policies and issues that concern Alabamans. Now, you've been out talking to some constituents. You went to a church?
Yeah, I did. I went to Guiding Light Church in Birmingham.
And I had a chance to talk with several people from the church and other voters here in Alabama about important issues. And one of the key issues that keeps coming up, of course, is health care. Now, your opponent, Doug Jones, is a very big supporter of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. How will you address, if you're elected to the Senate, this big issue for not just Alabamans, but the entire country?
Well, I think the Affordable Care Act is seen in its repercussions. It's caused rates to increase drastically. You get not as good a service as you got before. I think Affordable Care Act should be repealed. I don't think there's any allocation in the Constitution for health care. It's a private business like many businesses, and it would drop the rates and give better service if we opened up state borders to health care insurance.
Through interstate competition? Yes.
Restore interstate competition.
And so another key issue for Republicans across the board is the confirmation of conservative judges. Now, again, it's fair to say that Doug Jones would not support these type of nominations. You've declared yourself an independent. Would you vote for conservative judges?
I will vote for conservative judges. The question is, what is a conservative judge? With my background in the law, sworn to the Constitution since 1965 at the United States Military Academy, and having dealt with federal courts, I understand a lot about the court system and about judges and about their tendency to become more liberal when they get on the courts, if you will. I think I could see through a lot of people and what they stand for and when they would really be conservative judges.
When it comes to being elected to the Senate, you have spoken out about the establishment and some of the GOP on Capitol Hill now. There's a rocky relationship there, if you will. How do you see working with your peers on Capitol Hill? How do you see that relationship playing out?
As long as the legislation is constitutional, if it's for the betterment of my country, I can work with anybody. I can work with Democrats, I can work with Republicans, I can work with anybody. When it violates the Constitution and when it violates the good of our country, I'll work with no one. I'll stick to principle. Can I compromise? I can compromise on certain things that are not principle. But when you get to principle, you shouldn't compromise your principles.